tell me about your fun. So was this the whole family that went out for a day of snowmobiling? Were you with friends or who were you with?
So I was with my dad and his friends, and it was Russ and April and Russ Rhodes, and it was just us three.
Just some friends. And do you guys go often, or was this your first time?
It was my first time.
First time, and how was it? Was it fun?
Yeah, it was fun first, yeah.
At first, and then things took a turn. So was this an all-day event where you guys started in the morning and then it got to night when you were missing, or tell me a little bit about how the day went?
So what happened was when we woke up around like 5, and we left at 6, got there around 8, and then we rode around with each other till like 11 to about noon, and that's when I kind of got lost around noon.
So when did you realize that you'd lost your group and got a little nervous? Did it take a while, or were you having fun and you're like, wow, this is the best day, and then all of a sudden realized, oh no, where is everyone?
Just right after, just a few like seconds after that happened, I was like, oh shoot, and I started freaking out and I cried and stuff and I prayed a whole bunch.
I would cry too. So that was around lunchtime. And then they didn't find you till the next morning, so it gets to be lunchtime. Did you start driving around and try to find them, or did you do the stay in one place and hope they'd find you?
So I kind of drove around because I don't think I was that far from them. So I went up and over the hill, and then I went to the side of this mountain, and it was on a slant. So the snowmobile was like, it's pretty heavy. So it kind of like, I knew if I would have gone any further, I would have tipped or something. So I just stopped it and laid it there, and then I started just to walk.
So that's pretty smart, obviously. Did you have a lesson in how to use a snowmobile and like that it was heavy, or was that just something you kind of figured out on your own?
Well, they do kind of look heavy too.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I just kind of both.
Okay, so you started walking around, still couldn't find anyone. When it started to get late and the sun started to set, were you back at the snowmobile, or had you wandered away from it?
I wandered away and I didn't know where it was after.
Did that make you more nervous?
Yeah, it was just crazy how far I went. I didn't even know like how far I was from the snowmobile. I didn't know where I was. There were just trees everywhere.
So scary. So when did you really get nervous that you were like, okay, I might have to spend the night here? Did that ever sink in, or did you think the whole time, oh, someone's going to find me any minute?
I didn't think any minute, but like I just thought like, well, I might be screwed, but you gotta still have to hope, you know?
Yeah. Okay, I want to push pause on your story for a minute. Mom, when did you find out that he was missing? Did they call immediately, or was Dad like, okay, let's not call Mom, let's search and not freak her out at first?
Yeah, you kind of put the right words there. I guess he went missing around noon, and one of the members from their party called me around 5, between 5 and 6, and said that he had been missing since noon, and that they had search and rescue called. So they had looked for him for about 45 minutes on their own, and then a blizzard came through, and my husband said, we've got to call search and rescue right now, and that's when the search began.
And did you drive up there, or did you stay at home with the other kids and try to remain calm?
Yeah, it was really hard. I stayed at home and with my other children, and got phone calls periodically through the night, what was happening and what was going on. So yeah, I stayed here. I don't think I would have been much help from
Yeah.
there. I got my stuff ready to go, and then I was their only contact actually out of the canyon. So I thought I better stick around.
So does Mason have a phone that he had with him, or are you not a mom that tracks her kids and you're just like, hey, go have fun?
Oh no, he has a phone, and he has I have Life 360, and that was one of the first things that I called back the sheriff and said, he has a phone, he has Life 360, and it was showing him just at the entrance of where they started, and it was showing that from 7 a.m. So I thought he either lost service or left his phone in the truck.
Yeah.
They did try to ping him, however, his phone had died because of the cold, probably.
Yeah, it's cold makes it die fast. Did you actually have your phone with you, Mason?
Yeah, I did. It was just in my pocket like the whole time.
But it wasn't working for you either.
Yeah, so it like worked for like a few minutes, but then after a while it just died.
Ugh. So you're back at home. You don't know what's going on. Mindy, did you fear the worst, or are you kind of cup half full thinking, all right, he's a tough kid? Was he like a scout and knew how to stay warm at night and you're like, oh, he's done this before, or were you really worried?
You know, he's always been the type of kid to kind of test the boundaries, and he's more of like you just gotta keep going kind of kid. He doesn't give up, and he keeps trying. However, I thought that they would find him quicker. I was a little bit naive to the situation, and so when I got the phone call and thought he had been missing for 5, 6 hours, I thought, well, they'll have to be finding him in a minute.
Yeah.
And as the hours went by, it just got scarier and scarier, and I realized that they might not find him. That was horrible.
So pretty scary for you.
Oh yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, no mom wants to feel that. So Mason, you were out there by yourself. The sun starts to set. Did you have any snacks in your pocket, or were you just hungry and cold?
So before that, when we left, we stopped at Maverick and I had a breakfast sandwich. And then after we rode around 11, like right before I got lost, I had like some like granola bars or fruit snacks, and water, and that's like all for that.
Yeah. All right. Well, not enough for teenagers. I've had a teenage son at home. I know how much they eat. So it gets dark outside. I'm a grown up. I would be scared of the noises. Did you start to hear animals?
No, well, I guess I heard some birds. That's pretty much it. They're just pecking on the wood. It was kind of weird though.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like it sounded like maybe a woodpecker. I don't know.
Okay. Well, they're not too scary. So it gets dark out there. You're by yourself. Did you dig yourself a little snow cave? Did you just lay down and take a nap? What did you do to try to stay warm? Because it was -15. That's crazy cold.
Yeah. So what I did is I just patted down the snow, and that's kind of just where I slept, and I kind of tossed and turned, and I kind of kicked my feet to keep the blood flowing, because I'm thinking like, man, I ain't getting frostbite, dude. I got to play baseball. And, I said a whole bunch of prayers too, and.
Eye on the ball. I like that you were thinking about baseball to get you through. So you slept most of the night?
Yeah, well, no, actually, no. Yeah. I was walking around for most of the time, but and then at night, I only slept like a good 2 hours, two hours.
Yeah. So what were you praying for to happen?
Just so I prayed, fast, Heavenly Father to help me, like get through it and stuff like that.
Well, you made it. When when did they find you? So you wake up in the morning. Did you start walking around again? What happened?
So in the morning, I woke up at a good around 8 or 9, and I just heard this snowmobile, and it actually seemed like pretty close, and I'm like, help! And I just kept yelling like help, and then it sounded like it kept getting closer, and this dude came down the mountain, and then he saw me, and he came up to me and stuff, and and had a nice conversation. Chase Roberts is a good dude, and he found me and his other dude.
And did he hear you screaming help, or did he just eventually see you?
I think it might have been both. I don't know, but yeah,
He saw him. He saw him. He had gone off into an area where they hadn't had any trackers yet, and it was actually right where his dad kind of thought maybe he would be, and he told them, and it was 15 or 20 minutes that they had entered, and they had gone and found him.
Wow.
But we're just volunteers and people we know from our town that found him.
So people just heard about it and then went up there late at night and started searching, or what did they do?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. The search and rescue had called and said, don't tell anybody, don't post anything yet, because we want to be able to track him. But after about 12 hours, I just felt like we needed more help, and so I posted it on Facebook, and instantly we had hundreds of people volunteering and sending people up there through the night, through the morning, but we had people from everywhere going up there and volunteering. And so, yeah, it was pretty amazing.
That is amazing. When did you get the call and who called you?
Oh my goodness. You know, I was talking to the sheriff, and he called me and was notifying me of the news stuff that they were going to start doing, and they said, we have 5 different counties looking for him, and we've got 3 choppers here, and we still haven't found him, but we're going to find him, because the sun had come up, and we were just praying for the sun to come up all morning, because we knew he had to make it through the night. And about 30 minutes later, I got another phone call from the sheriff, and he says, we found him. And it was really amazing. In 21 hours. So I wasn't expecting, and they said he's okay. We found him and he's okay. And it was a miracle.
Longest 21 hours probably of both of your lives.
Yeah, pretty horrible, but such a blessing, and so many wonderful things came out of it. However, I don't want him going anywhere for a while.
Your mom's best friend now, and you're hanging out everywhere at home? Yeah.
He's hanging with me for a while.
I love that. And were you pretty excited to see mom and dad again? Who did you see first? So this guy found you, and did he take you back to your dad, or how did that work out?
My dad was actually still looking for me when I was like in the ambulance or whatever, so I saw my mom first and then my dad. But
Yeah, my husband they were getting ready to send the helicopter up to find my husband because they couldn't get him on the radio for some reason, but then they finally got a hold of him, and he had headed down to the hospital, which he didn't really need. They said he was okay and that he didn't have frostbite, and his temperature raised quickly, but I still wanted him to go to the hospital, and then that's the first time that I saw him.
Were doctors surprised by that? Because I'm thinking I wear socks in my bed when it's like 68 degrees at night in the wintertime at home. So I'm just wondering how you didn't get frostbite. Were doctors pretty surprised by that?
Yeah, they were all blown away in the emergency room at the EMTs and stuff that looked him over. Everyone was shocked. We had heard that, in 30 years or something, they hadn't seen anything like this. So we're just amazed. We don't know what he's built of, but there's something good in there.
So are you a regular camping family or a scouting family where you had practice in the outdoors, or was this kind of a rare thing for you?
It was a rare. My husband goes sledding all the time, but it was kind of Mason's first experience with that. It was only supposed to be a few hours. So what was a few hours short fun day turned into be a pretty big deal.
So was this first and last, or is mom going to let you go again?
I hope she lets me do it.
He wants to go again. We're definitely gonna do a few things differently next time, but it'll take some time.
And now you got a pretty great story to tell.
Yeah, he does. We're pretty lucky.
So do you have any tips or tricks for other people if they get lost in the cold?
As soon as you get lost, stay exactly where you are, and maybe move around more instead of just sitting there, because you got to get your blood flowing so you don't get frostbite or something.
Do you think that's part of what saved you, is you just kept getting up and moving?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, what a story. Pretty incredible. Well, I'm glad that you're okay. I can't imagine how stressful this was for everyone. So,
Yeah, it's crazy.
well, good. Best hugs ever. It's probably nice to have your mom back again. Yeah, because I know teenagers sometimes get frustrated with their parents, but I'm thinking that you'll all be much happier now, right, to have each other.
Yeah. We're holding each other a little bit tighter now.
Anything else you want people to know?
We're just so grateful. We're so grateful. It really, because of all we could think of was to ask people for prayers, and that's all we could do from our end. And we just saw so many come together and pray and look for our son voluntarily, and we're so grateful from every piece of us. And Mason too. He's very lucky.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story.